And here's another interesting thrift store find. This is the wireless TV sender from a company called One for All. And this kind of device was pretty popular maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, because you could share your signal from a cable TV box to multiple televisions wirelessly, as you can see here in the picture. And also in the box it says maximize your digital TV experience. So I found this one at the thrift store a couple of weeks ago for what I thought it was a really good deal. Only $11 for this one, and it's also brand new and sealed. So whoever had this one before me, they never opened it, they never tried it out. And they weren't cheap when this one came out back in the 2010s. Here's the back of the box in case you want to read some of the highlights. But I didn't see much information about this kind of device online or on YouTube. So in this video I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing. I'm going to show you everything that comes in this wireless TV sender box. And later I'm going to be doing a quick test of it in a similar way that I did a couple of videos ago. I'm going to try to send a signal from an Apple TV into a portable DVD player. And I'm going to try to do that wirelessly using this wireless TV sender and receiver. So stay tuned for that. And let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing. All right, so the box is open and let's see what we get. We get a pretty big instructions manual in many different languages. You get, of course, your sender and receiver, which we'll be taking a look later. We get a bunch of cables. And according to my research, you should not need some of these cables. You can actually use your own. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. So this might be the power cables. So here are the power cables, and what I just noticed is that both of them have the European connection here. As you can see, these are not the ones used in the US. And I looked at the back of the adapter and it does say input 230 volts. So these ones are not going to work here in the US. I'm going to have to find a different power adapter for something that will work in the US, but also will output 12 volts and 250 milliamps. So that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm going to see if I can find something like this in the thrift store somewhere else so I can use this transmitters and receivers. And the same thing for this one. That's going to be the only challenge for this test. And then you also get a couple of signal cables for audio and video. And this one's the other end of the cable has this connection that were used back in the day with old school cable boxes. So I'm not going to be able to use this ones either. Actually, you can use your own cables or standard cables for depending on whichever product you're using for your source or TV. And the other power signal cables is exactly the same. And one of them is labeled for transmitter and the other one for receiver. And lastly, you also get, this should be the cable for the remote control extender. So this is the kind of cable that you connect into the receiver, or sorry, to the receiver, and then you put it in front of your TV. So it will repeat the signal from your remote control. And this one right here is labeled as the receiver. So this is what you will put in your on the second TV that you want to use. And in one side you get your power jack, 12 volts again, and you get your signals here in RCA connections or composite for video and audio. And you can also use S-video cables. And there's the antenna. It works like that. So you can tune it to the specific band. And the power button right here on and off. And you also can select between 4 different wireless channels to connect it into the transmitter. And here's the transmitter. And And there's the part number in case you're curious. This is the SV1730. And it looks similar with the antenna like that. Same thing, your power plug, your signal connections, video and audio, S cable as well, or yeah, S cable. And in this one is where you will connect your remote adapter in case you want to repeat the signal from your remote control on an off power button, and your 4 channels for the wireless connection with the receiver. And that's it. That's all what it comes in this one for all TV sender. And I'm gonna see what I can do about this power cables. I'm gonna try to find one for 110 volts, or actually I'm gonna need 2 with 110 volts. But I'm gonna see if I can find those, and then I'll proceed with the test of the TV sender. And I actually got pretty lucky. I was able to find a couple of power adapters in my collection of cables that will work with this transmitter and receiver. This one right here is a universal power adapter that I can just set up to 12 volts. And this one is a power adapter that is just a standard 12 volt power adapter, but will work here in the US with 110 volts. So I should be able to connect these ones safely with this transmitter and receiver. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do for the test. And like I said before, I'm going to try to do something similar as I did a couple of videos ago, where I'm going to try to connect this old Apple TV with this old portable DVD player. But this time I'm going to try to do it wirelessly using this transmitter and receiver from One for All. So if you want to see more details about how to connect or how to do all that connections with Apple TV streaming into the portable DVD player, just go back into my channel a couple of videos and I'll show you in all the details how to connect that. But for this one, I'm just going to add the connection, or the wireless connection between the Apple TV and the portable DVD player using this transmitter and receiver. So everything now is plugged in to the power, including the transmitter and receiver, using those adapters that I found in my collection. And everything seems to be working okay, because if you turn it on using this switch right here, LED light turns on right there. And the same thing for the transmitter. You click here on, the LED turns on. So everything seems to be working there correctly. And for this test, I'm going to be using the channel 1 in both of the transmitter and receiver. So it is set up to channel 1. So just to go back to how the Apple TV is connected. The Apple TV is connected to the power, and it is connected via HDMI to this HDMI to analog signal converter. Again, more details in my older video. And this gets connected into the transmitter. And you can see that it is the transmitter because right below it says transmitter. And the signal is going to be transferred wirelessly to the receiver. And it is going to be outputted into the portable DVD player with the same connections as I used in one of my last videos. Again, all of that in the older video. And it's going to be hooked up to the side of the DVD player here into the input plug, and everything is plugged into the power. So now let's go ahead and see if it works. Let's turn on the portable DVD player, but first let's lift up the antennas like that of both the transmitter and receiver. Let's make some space here. So again, just to summarize, the source is your Apple TV, and your receiver is going to be this portable DVD player. Let's see if that works. Let's turn it on. So of course the DVD player is going to default to the disc. But if you click here on the side, well, depending on your DVD player, you can select the secondary input, which in this case is the Apple TV. I got my remote here for the Apple TV, and you should be able to control it just like normal. It seems to be working great. So there it is, a little bit more zoomed in. So you can see that the image is not perfect, of course. If it's transmitted wirelessly, it's going to be a little bit of loss in the signal. But it works okay. You know, you can still see it pretty well. And let's say if you want to go to Apple TV, and it works just as before with the connection, the hardwired connection maybe with a little bit of a signal loss. But let's say if you want to watch, I don't know, what's this, Beanie Bubble. Never seen that before. But it will play, and it will play just fine as you were using your Apple TV normally, but this time you don't have to have a hard connection or a cable connection between your Apple TV all the way to the DVD player. So there it is. It's working just fine. I'm glad that I was able to figure that out, because I was kind of concerned that the power connections may not work, but everything seems to be working just fine. So there it is. That's the connection between the Apple TV, streaming wirelessly using the One for All wireless TV sender, and it works well. It is not perfect. Of course, the signal connection is a little bit lossy, but it is fine for occasional TV watching. And like I said in my last video where I talked about this setup, this may be a little bit outdated, but I wouldn't call it obsolete. I think if the equipment still works, might as well use them instead of just throwing them into the landfill or just to get rid of them. Make sure to use the equipment that you still have. Yeah, this one is going to be making things a little bit easier for me if I want to use my portable DVD player. And instead of having to be hardwired into the DVD player, I can just use these two connections, and it seemed to be pretty stable. I've been moving them around, and the connections have not flickered or anything, so it seems to be working really well. So yeah, interesting device. I still plan to use this one with my Apple TV and my DVD player. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.